over to Central Park with our, I was about to say morning coffee, but this is afternoon now. Very late afternoon coffee. That is so freaking cute. You know, whenever you're feeling like shit, it's always a great idea to come on a walk to lift up your spirits. Ooh, it's getting windy now. Here you go. We finally got a good spot to sit. There are people biking around, running. Since I'm home after such a long time on a weekend, I was really hoping to do a proper reset, an apartment reset, but my cramps are coming in pretty hard right now. I think I'm just gonna rest up and then edit, not do anything that is too physical. So just a quick heads up, all this talk about existential crisis was supposed to be part of a vlog, but then I kept going on and on and on. So I decided to just create a video on its own. And usually if I do some kind of a sit-down video, I kind of think about topics that I want to touch upon, but this time around it just came like this. It was literal word vomit. Ever since I've turned 35, I've been feeling this existential crisis. So I felt this in my mid to late 20s. It faded away in my early 30s, and now I turned 35 in November and I'm feeling this existential crisis again. So regularly I do have this feeling, but then whenever I'm on my period or when I'm about to have my period, everything I'm feeling gets magnified. Whatever I'm feeling just becomes more heavy and it gets magnified. And I've been questioning a lot lately on what I want to do with my life, which I still don't know. I'm 35 and I still don't know. When I was in my 20s, I really thought I would have figured out by now, but that's not really the case. I really don't know what I want to do in my professional life. Obviously with my personal life, I don't know what I'm doing. So just feeling a bit lost. I'm turning 40 in 5 years and that's additional pressure here. I feel like life is just passing by very quickly. It's just like whatever I thought I would be doing or where I would be in my life, I'm not at that point. I know age is just a number, but with that number there comes a lot of pressure. On top of that, just personally trying to figure out what you truly want to do, what you want from life. Beside that, trying to balance everything, personally, professionally, it gets a lot. So I have mentioned this in, I think, one of my vlogs from last year about potentially freezing my eggs. You know how some people, they always know that they want to have kids. I've never been that person. I do like kids, but then I don't have that maternal instinct. Beside Ferj Hape, my sister, she always knew she wanted kids and she has always been good with kids. Now, freezing my eggs, that was a thought a few years ago. And I told myself I have time, but I'm 35 now and I need to start thinking things seriously because at the end, biological clock is real. I don't know if I want to have kids in future. This is more, what if when I'm 40 or 42 or 39 and I want to have kids? So I'm just giving that as an option for myself. My last relationship was almost 3 years ago, or 3.5, I think 3 years ago. It's been a while. And after that, I went back to the dating world very briefly, and then just life happened. I'm telling myself this summer I need to go back to the dating world again. In surface level, I'll say it's mainly because, well, I am busy. If someone enters my life, I do need to make space for them. That means something needs to cut down. I don't want to impact my YouTube or my family time. Corporate, it's fixed hours. I have to do it, you know. That's what allows me to live in the city. That's a constant thing. The area that I need to cut down would be either YouTube or friends, family, personal time. I always tell this as one of the main reasons, and which is, but I think one of the main reasons why I don't want to go back to the dating world is because I don't want to get hurt, because that stinks and it takes a while to let it go. But yeah, I've been telling myself I need to go back. But right now I don't want to go back because I've gained so much weight. I don't feel confident or pretty right now. A few years ago, I had gained a lot of weight and that was the heaviest. And I'm getting to the same point again. I'm getting to the heaviest weight I've ever been. That definitely impacts your confidence. And it's crazy to think that even when I'm 35, I'm still so conscious about gaining weight or tying my confidence with weight or how I look. I really thought that would be a thing in the past, in my 20s. I didn't feel that last year or year prior to that, because I feel like my weight wise, I was very happy where I was. Now, after gaining weight and almost reaching to a point where I was the heaviest a few years ago, it has definitely impacted my confidence. That's another reason why I don't want to go back to the dating world. At this point, I think I'm just talking nonstop and the topics are all over. But it's been quite some time, right? Been quite some time that we have actually sat down and caught up. So I think this was needed though. Another thing I've been thinking about a lot is where I want to settle in life. When I was in college, I used to think that in my 30s or in my 40s is when I'll move back home as in Kathmandu, Nepal. If you're watching this video for the first time, I'm originally from Kathmandu, Nepal. I lived there, I grew up there, and I moved to the US when I was 18. And since that's approaching now, well, I'm already in my 30s, I'm questioning that. As in, will I ever move back to Kathmandu, Nepal permanently? I will be visiting home every year, but to live there permanently. I'm so torn, and I don't want to say that out loud because that means I made my decision. I do have a slight inclination on where I would be settling, but I don't want to say it out loud because once I say it out loud, it becomes not necessarily permanent, but there's more weight to it. And I don't think so I'm personally ready for that. I feel like I keep this question in my head so I can be in this limbo just to reassure myself because I'm so torn between these two places. In that way, if I'm undecided, it gives me more comfort in a way. In order to keep up with my corporate work, personal life, and YouTube in a way where I don't get burnt out, I think I'm gonna look into getting an editor. For the longest time, I told myself I will never get an editor because this is like my passion project. The reason why I started YouTube is to do something creative. Editing is a big part of that. So I'm thinking maybe not the entire process, but a part of it, I may outsource it because it's been pretty hard to manage everything. I feel like I'm getting there in terms of burnout, especially right now when my mom is visiting. I don't get to spend this amount of time with my mom, so I definitely want to take advantage of that because it's not usually a norm that I get to spend time with them. I get to see them once in a year, if I'm lucky twice in a year, and that also only for a few weeks, 2 weeks, a month max, because my mom put her life on pause right now to be here. She used to be a professor, she retired, and now she has a clothing store. And beside that, she had a very active social life back in Nepal as well, and she kept her life on hold to be here. I don't know which part of editing I'll outsource to the editor. I don't enjoy doing rough cut. I enjoy editing portion after the rough cut when I add music, text. I don't think I feel comfortable giving away the rough cut because I stutter a lot. I might say the same thing so many times. I might talk to myself. I feel like it's the raw version of me and I don't feel comfortable giving that away to someone. And I don't want to outsource the portion that I really enjoy. I'm just blabbing at this point. So my camera battery died. We'll continue this when we get home. For now, Chap and I will walk for a bit. I always say this, but going on walks, doesn't matter how you're feeling or how overwhelmed you're feeling, it always helps. It just gives you that serotonin boost. I think while we continue catching up, I'm gonna do avocado toast. Before we continue, I just wanted to acknowledge this video is kind of all over the place. So I think we stopped at YouTube, I believe. I was able to manage a few years ago, but then again, I was doing sleepless nights, all-nighter to finish the video. And now I'm in my mid-30s, I don't have the same energy level. Also, I don't think so that's sustainable as well. Editing price will vary based on the type of content, but for a lifestyle vlog, it's pretty expensive. I know I said all of this in the video, but for now, I'm not going to offload because it is pricey. I think I'm just gonna figure out how I can balance it because there are other content creators who are managing numerous things at a time, and I'll just have to figure out a way that works for me while making sure I make time for other priorities in my life. Whenever I see other YouTubers who are in their 20s, I feel like they have so much ahead of them. Not just that, the energy level as well. And I feel bad by comparing with them. Like for example, for YouTube, I know I'll be doing YouTube even when I'm in my 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. 80s, but then I may not be as consistent as I'm right now, because as older you get, there are more responsibilities. Your parents, maybe a partner, maybe kids. Those aspects of life become priority over YouTube, so I may not be as consistent as I'm right now. I feel like there's so much of time ahead of them and also so much of time to figure out life, whereas me, I feel like life is moving so fast. Again, I'm not saying 35 is old. It's not. But I'm very aware that certain phases of my life are slipping away. Yeah, the existential crisis is hitting me pretty hard right now. I even deleted my Facebook because of that. Seeing my friends from school or college, them settling down, having kids. Again, I'm not saying that's what I want with my life, but then seeing them, it looks like they're moving forward with their life. But then I feel I'm pretty stagnant. I know that's not the case. I moved to New York City. I finally have a community now. There's been so much growth personally as well. But for some reason, because of the societal noise, societal pressure, them buying a house or having kids or getting married or settling down feels like they're moving ahead in life, whereas I'm either behind or stagnant. And I know that's not the case. It's just the way we've been wired when we're growing up, that's the norm. I'm very happy that they are happy. Then just how the brain works, you start comparing. So I just deleted my Facebook. I still have my Facebook Messenger so I can talk with my family, but that's it. I'm not gonna be on Facebook anymore because I don't want to see anyone's updates, especially when I'm feeling this way right now. After you pass your 20s doesn't mean that's it. Again, I'm not trying to say that. To be honest, I feel 30s have been way better than my 20s. Celebrating every year is a privilege. Not a lot of people get to do that. So even though I don't want those things, I want to focus on certain things in my life, which is very different than what you would expect from a 35-year-old. I am happy with it. It's just that the external noise, pressure, expectation sometimes gets to you, especially for us. It adds more pressure because of the whole biological clock. And I think just in general, for us women, society is more harsh about getting older. If anyone resonates with how I'm feeling, let me know in the comments below as well, because I know I'm not the only one who's feeling this way. And with this, I will end the vlog here. I know this vlog was somewhat all over the place. I truly hope you still enjoyed coming along with us. And as always, I truly appreciate your love and your support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting this channel as well. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.